All right, so we are making some changes to 2025s. '25 should be hitting dealer lots. Before you really see a lot of them, it'll be August. You'll start seeing some trickle in July. One of the biggest things is we're going to it is a one-piece fiberglass roof for our roofs. Now, it's not going to be a molded fiberglass roof like you're going to see on a real high-end bus, but it's going to be similar to what you see a lot of your, I would say, mid-level Class A's, a lot of your Class C's where you're doing it's a one-piece rolled fiberglass roof. We're still going to build the roof decking like we do now. We're actually taking the decking from a 1/2 inch to 3/8 to help offset the weight of fiberglass. The fiberglass is going to be stronger as well, but it'll be the same rafters, 16-inch centers. We're using plywood still for the decking, and then it'll be a fiberglass roof. Couple things, fiberglass is obviously going to hold up better than the membranes. All these roof membranes have extremely long material warranties. You don't see a lot of them that just wear out, right? A lot of times it's damage to them more so than anything else. The fiberglass is going to be, we feel, a superior product. It's not that we have a lot of roof issues. It's just something that we've been looking at for a while, and we feel that, this was the year to finally do it. So we've been protoing it for probably the process started probably a year ago. So we ran a few units throughout the year. I think Bill may have sold 1 or 2 that surprisingly had a roof on it when it showed up. But yeah, so that would be the first thing. The sidewalls, we are going to Azdel back to sidewalls instead of Luan. So again, just pull in the Luan wood backer out of the glass. So on the exterior wall, you will be all composite material in that exterior skin. So Azdel, and then still staying same sheet glass with a nice gel coat exterior finish. Our furniture is going to be moved to a domestic furniture builder. So we've been on import furniture the entire time at Riverstone. We've switched importers a handful of times. At our volume and our level of unit, it's tough to find an import piece that does everything we need it to do. The volume that you need to import to make it worth importing, you have to try and condense sizes a little more. You can't have as custom pieces for different floor plans. It's also tough to get an import piece that's as nice as what we want. So we're moving to a company, Williamsburg. They are obviously not a name brand residential furniture supplier. With those guys also at our volume, they don't want to build stuff for raised floors. They don't want to build some of the real small recliners we need in certain floor plans. So, but they're going to be built 30 minutes from the factory. So that's one of the 2025 options. And I think people will be happy with the furniture on those. So, and a lot of them are going to be same sizes. So over time, if someone wants to, exchange, upgrade their furniture, there will be that possibility, because we have a number of almost every floor plan we've ever built, we're still using the same size sofas currently, because on those imports, we never want to change, we try not to change stuff. On that note, this should be interesting. So we're going to be doing just a basic, nothing exciting, but a Dove furniture. It's called Ripplebrook. So we did Dove in 2024. You see this is just a little bit darker. There were some people that, the Dove we used was a little white, a little light. I'm interested to see what people think of this idea, but would like, as of right now, on our other fabric, our switchback tobacco, the sofas are going to be an actual fabric. I don't know if people like that fabric. We've heard it's a little too blue. But, and then the theater seats will be that brown. So if you look residentially, a lot of times they're mixed use, or mixed colors right, in the living rooms. Doing a sofa in actual fabric also. It seems like we've had more and more people asking for fabric rather than the faux leather. And then do the recliners still in the call it a polyurethane fabric, but yeah, the faux leather. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, raise the hands. Who thinks this is way too blue?
No.
Who likes it? All right, I want you to tell the rest of the sales team that, Anthony. I guess I'll take that vote. You guys can see it in person. I showed that to our sales team a couple weeks ago. It was the first time they saw it. And actually, I was working a show this winter, and I got a text from one of them that walked in a proto, and he said, "Are you messing with me with these couches, Nick?" And I said, "Well, if you don't like it, that means it's probably right. We got some guys that don't have very good taste." No, so the maple honey wood that we did in 2024, we ended up making that a 1-year wood, so it's that lighter tan color. We're gonna keep decorator white, that accent in decorator white, that dark brown that you all like your countertops are, your steps, your crown molding in decorator white. That is going to be our other color option. It's gonna be called cocoa bean, but it's like a deep dark brown. Sometimes maple honey, I think, was a good wood color, but looking at the overall lineup, and we wanted to get a darker brown in the mix because we had two pretty light colors. I think the dark brown and the white was a stronger lineup is what we felt than having dark brown and light brown. So it's gonna be white, decorator whites continuing. We're gonna have a real deep dark brown. All of our drawers are gonna be dovetail drawer boxes in 2025. So I know people are excited about it, but I'm back and forth, I'll be honest. I don't know. Dovetail drawer boxes are more money. They're strong. I don't see a lot of drawer failures. What I see before I get jumped on are drawer guide failures. Actual drawer boxes, I don't see a lot of drawer box failures. I'm hoping that the dovetail drawer being a sturdier drawer also though, a more solid drawer does help with the drawer guides some as well. You know, we did upgrade our drawer guides a few years ago. If the dovetail drawer boxes and drawer guides that we're currently using do not get the job done, the only alternative would, then we have to, basically it'd be like an undermount drawer guide would be the next step. But there's just, in the market, seems like we're hearing about dovetail drawer boxes a lot. They're nice, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, we were in the conference room the other day, I threw one on the floor and jumped up on the sides and shook around. So Anthony was questioning the actual joints on the dovetail and was like, "Hey, it looks a little thin on the back side of that joint. Think they can thicken it up?" And I threw it on the ground and I was like, I think it's strong enough. We'll be good. Yeah, that'll be on when we finally do some new videos this year. We'll probably do that. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe in the future we'll see what the feedback is. I don't know why nobody does fabric. I do have an idea. I'm kind of trying to see how it goes over this year. But with fabric, I think a big reason why you don't see a lot of RVs use it is because of how dirty it gets. And this is a terrible reason not to use it because a lot of people, but just shows it on the lot, right? If you take a unit to a show and you have 1,500 people or walk through it that weekend and people sitting on it and kids jumping on it and all the stuff that can happen at a show, and that fabric is gonna hold stains, but the fabrics can be treated, right? It's not a fabric from 15 years ago, but I think that's the perception. I think that's why you don't see a lot of fabrics. So I'm interested to see how fabric goes over this year, and it may be something in the future, but this was kind of a way to push it in and just try something a little more on trend than what we had been doing. So we're going to be going to a new tire and rim combo. So one thing that's changing, our Legacy package, we are going to be doing Cooper tires on everything. And in the Legacy, instead of the Goodyears, we are going to be doing a 100 amp hour lithium battery and the 2 extra solar panels. It was part of the Legacy package now as well. Cooper's a great tire. I don't know that the Goodyear tire, we see a similar failure rate with Goodyear and Cooper's. and the Goodyear is a lot of money. So I think that money could be better used in another area. And that's kind of, as a team, we thought that the Coopers were a strong enough name and a good enough brand to stick with. It's a Cooper tire by Goodyear. We're going to a new front cap this year. So the front cap's going to be a little, I'd say a little more aggressive. It's going to be a little, the angles are a little harder on it, but it's a little more open in the front. It's not going to have the big U channel. We're going to go to lights that are integrated behind. So the front cap was going to almost look flat. So instead of having your strip lights that hang out, the strip light will be recessed down in a channel, and there will be a secondary channel that'll be real thin with a diffused lens that goes over it. So the front of that cap will look almost flat. The cap's also going from 2 lights to like 5 because of the caps and how we can place them and follow the lines of the cap. So it's going to look cool up there. Changing the paint schemes. So we're going more aggressive on the paint this year. So it's a little more linear. Let's see here. So definitely a lot more aggressive than what we've done in the past, but it's a little more straight, streamlined. So that cap is not accurate yet, so don't pay attention to that, but just the sidewall. So I'll kind of try to do a quick walk around. So definitely get more aggressive. But it's kind of on trend with what a lot of your high-end motorhomes are doing. If you look at a lot of your like Integras and Newmars and those type of motorhomes, they're a little more straight-lined than they have been in the past few years. So, yeah. So that is the plan on paint. We have not done a paint change in 4 or 5 years. So it is quite the change as well. As we looked at swoops and swooshes, I think our paint job looks great. But after 5 years, as 2019 was the last time we changed paint. That's the last time we had a cap change also. We have not seen something in that more traditional. That's kind of a mix between aggressive and traditional. But with all the swoops that we thought was a big enough upgrade to change the scheme. But after 5 years, we thought it was time. I think it's going to be a good upgrade, but it is definitely a different look. So on our kitchen islands, we're going to call it a false waterfall, like that waterfall look like we have in the DST down the sides with solid surface. And then on the back side of it, it's we're doing a somewhat translucent. It's an acrylic panel that is printed in super high def imagery. It's gonna be black with some gold and white and silver swirls, but it's gonna be all backlit. Yep. So we're going to what we did this year, mid-year, but one flooring option. It's that tile pattern look on the flooring now. And we're doing one flooring, but that's going to allow us to use the actual flooring material in the slide outs instead of using the woven marine grade carpet, which we think was a step forward from actual carpet, but the marine grade woven flooring is very challenging, honestly, in a production setting. If you end up, you're puttying and some putty gets on a shoe and it gets on that flooring, it's an issue. So it's not, I think it's a better look too. So on all your flush floors, when they're out, it's gonna more or less look like one floor going across. So yeah, pretty seamless. So, and you lose we band it a different way so that you won't have the banding on the edge of it either to make it stand out. Still be bound, but just in a different way. We're countertops and backsplash. So the countertops are switching. It's still gonna be a white countertop with some gray veining through it. But we're taking that same countertop up the walls then. So it's not a true solid surface. It's called a manufactured marble. So it looks, feels the exact same print as a solid surface, but it's a little lighter, easier to work with material. But it's not just going to be like a printed plastic like you see a lot of things use. So we made them get it right. You know, it looks, if I didn't tell you that and you walked in, you would think it's solid surface going up the wall. So that's what the backsplashes are going to be as well. The soundbar is going from a JBL with a subwoofer. We have some floor plans, tough to find, as you guys know, a good spot for the subwoofer in. We're going to a nice Klipsch all-in-one soundbar. Trying to do some additional, we talked a little about some insulation places. We're adding insulation into the sides of the I-beam in the units. We're adding, actually we're taking tank pads and adding them to the sides of the, what I call the dock box, like where you hook all your water hookups and stuff. So along with your regular, you having tank pads on your tanks, you also have tank pads on that box to keep that box warm as well. So it's a longer, skinnier pad, but it'll be keyed in with those. Next to your theater seating, in the 419 RD, we do a little end table. That end table is getting added to the FK and FO and FSKG. So you'll have a little end table on the wall. We'll push your recliners out a little, get them the right distance so you can put them out in front of that other sofa without having to slide them over. Just clean it up a little, not have a gap there. So we are trying to get into some of those little key things. We're going from the current shower we're using, we're going to go to a one-piece fiberglass shower. So I know a lot of people like the looks of our shower. It's just less potential for an issue to do a one-piece fiberglass. We don't have a lot of issues with that new shower. It's pretty solid. They're the one we're currently using. It's pretty solid, but I don't like having all the seams in the corners, just over time if something were to happen. So it's going to be a higher end fiberglass shower. It's gonna have like waves in the walls. But smooth so you can still clean it. Integrated seat instead of the teak seat as well. So we had a choice between the teak and going integrated in it. I think the integrated seat's just a little more solid. The teak seats have a little more flex than I'd like to see in them. We're gonna use them, they're gonna be rated to 300 pounds, but I still think they're got too much flex in them. So let's raise a hand. So if you had a choice, I'll do both. If you had a choice between a clear glass shower door and a frosted or a rain shower door, who would choose clear? All right. All right. So everyone, right? Yeah, okay. Solar, we are standard, gonna be still a 200 solar panel. I mentioned 2 additional in the Legacy package now. The controller is gonna be a 30 amp MPPT controller, and we're gonna be moving to a 2000 watt inverter standard, which will also jump the battery cable up. So if somebody wants to upgrade later, they don't have to replace the battery cables, depending on the size, unless you get too big. With that 2000 watt inverter, we're getting the battery cables are all gonna be pre-built. We're bringing all our solar stuff in on a board that is gonna go in the generator compartment to the right of the generator. When we install it, and we're hooking up 2 wires out, 2 wires in, basically. So it's gonna be simpler if people wanna upgrade. That's all gonna be in an easy to get to compartment. It'll pull the solar charger will also be down there. Right now, I know there's some units with solar chargers in your bedroom, and people have to put some tape over it. So we do listen to feedback and try and make improvements. Unfortunately, I know that doesn't fix everything for everyone out in the field. Did you have a question?
I just have one question.
All right.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, what are the plans for the infinity light in the living room?
Do you like it?
I'm not going to answer that question. I just want to know.
There is that is something that I did not have on that list. Yeah, the infinity light. It's going bye-bye. So we're going to over the islands, it's going to be a 3-ring light that's going to, their rings, I didn't have a picture of it on my iPad, but they're kind of 3 overlapping rings. It's a little more modern. It's hanging from the ceiling. Tried to make it look like it's hanging from cables, but they're solid little rods holding it, obviously, so it's not swinging. And then the bottom of those rings are solid diffused LEDs, so you're not seeing a bunch of little LEDs. With a ring that'll match it going over the dinette. Now there's some floor plans that honestly, trying to figure out, I think we got them all figured out where it's gonna go, even in the RKFB. So we actually get rid of the infinity light. We can push the ceiling fan a little more forward into the living room, and we're hanging them over the sink area in place of where those pendant lights were. So some stuff like that. And the RBA or the 425 FO, there is no island, so that light's just going to be hanging over the kitchen area, kind of a big kitchen accent in the center. We also, I guess I didn't mention, floor plan change on the 442 MC, which has been a great floor plan for us, but we've made some tweaks to that. So over your dinette right now, you've got a smaller window that matches the one over the desk. We took that up to a big tall window. So you got, and then the window on the side of that slide got wider and taller as well, so it opens that area up. We took the 50-inch TV in the kitchen, shrunk it down to 40, and we're taking cabinets above it. They're gonna wrap around with glass inserts to clean that up as well. We try to make some small tweaks when we can to a floor plan. That MC, the last 2 years, I guess we've made some significant changes to, but I think it's pretty dialed in floor plan. We changed the door in the hallway to a sliding door on the bathroom. We changed the storage behind the TV. We went to that TV door. We had to shrink the TV a little in the man cave, but that door that opens with a bunch of storage behind it. We try to make little tweaks like that where we can. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Infinity Light. That has been Riverstone's thing. We took a lot of flack on that one. There was a lot of people worried about it, but I think it's going to be a good change for us, and there's always next year. If people walk in looking for the Infinity Light. Currently what we're doing is UHD, obviously the Samsung Smart TV in the living room, and the bedroom, the non-smart TVs, we are putting Roku's on from the factory instead of a smart TV. But that's the thing, yeah, with the Roku, your apps, it's gonna be more of a fluid experience than I call them dumb smart TVs, right? They're smart TVs, but they'll have 8 apps on them or something. Well, that doesn't do anyone a whole lot of good. Not if you're really using it. Yeah, I mean, that's it's like a Roku dongle, just a little stick. Yeah, that's what we're putting on them. Yeah, it's not a Roku TV. It's basically a Fire Stick, but something we could get from one of our suppliers. We're always trying to improve the product, and, well, hopefully we make enough improvements one of these days to get you guys all into another unit. So, but no, we really appreciate you guys. We do. We appreciate the feedback we get working with people. Coming to these type of things, working shows. Again, what was the final tally? 52? 54 Riverstones. Something tells me that number is not going to start going down anytime soon, as long as this keeps happening.